I should probably shut off the music there. Good morning, everyone, and welcome in to another episode of Kayfabe Coffee, the show that keeps it real while we pretend it's real. I'm your host, Mr. OTM, Kyle Gagliardi, the barista of broken kayfabe, if you will, pouring out hot takes stronger than a Starbucks shaken espresso. Welcome to Kayfabe Coffee here on the Main Event Wrestling Network. It is Tuesday morning. We got a big Tuesday ahead of you, like always here at the Main Event Wrestling Network. There is content galore, so make sure you're following the network on all the socials to keep up with all the main event moves that we have going on here at the network, because like I said, it has become an every single day thing over here at the network. We have daily content from multiple podcasts, blogs, live shows, you name it, we have it here at the network. And it's not just WWE, guys. Like, I know I'm talking Monday Night Raw here today, but we got people talking AEW. We got people talking about the independent wrestling scene. If you're a fan of any kind of professional wrestling, I guarantee you there is something here at the Main Event Network for you that you are going to enjoy. And hopefully, one of those things is going to be this show right here, Kayfabe Coffee. And this is a pretty big episode for me. I don't have coffee this morning. Usually I talk to you about my coffee, but it was one of those mornings where I was just up super early. I think I was up at 4:30 for no reason. Not like I had a lack of sleep the night before. My body was just awake, so I said, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to have our coffee early in the morning. So I am not having another dose of coffee until a little bit later because we don't want to do too much caffeine. I got to stay up for the night shift. I don't want to crash before the night shift. And speaking of the night shift, you're like, what the hell's that? NXT, baby. NXT's on tonight. We're on the road to Stand and Deliver. Myself and Jay Gold, we're talking NXT live after that episode goes off the air. That's episode 50. So 2 milestone episodes for yours truly here this Tuesday, with this being episode 20 of Kayfabe Coffee. And of course, the NXT Night Shift tonight being episode 50. Just goes to show you once again of the growth here at the Main Event Wrestling Network, because I believe right now we sit at 313 subscribers. So if you're one of the 4 people, there's not many watching this morning, but hopefully some of you guys are going to catch this on the replay, because we are only 3 weeks away from Wrestlemania. It's crazy to say, but things are starting to heat up once again. Subscribe, because we're going to have a lot more content coming your way on that road to WrestleMania 42. And might as well address the elephant in the room. I sent it out on my socials earlier today. The future of Kayfabe Coffee. Obviously, we're not going anywhere anytime soon. This show just started here at the network. But it's definitely going to be less frequent going forward. As you guys know, the reason I started this show's format is because I was laid off at the end of January this year. Here we are at the end of March. It's been 2 months, and I'm happy to say that I believe that I finally have something in line for March, or not for March, for May, that is, for a full-time job. So that means I will not be able to do Kayfabe Coffee on a regular schedule going forward, especially with the most recent news coming out of my world. Yes, it is official. I am going to WrestleMania 42. I didn't think I was going to end up going, but since I was able to find a job, the timing just worked out. So I have 2 straight weeks. I will be headed to the West Coast. I am heading to Arizona next week for a bachelor party. And then I'm headed right back. I'm headed to Las Vegas the week after that for WrestleMania weekend. So if there's anybody that's catching this at a later date, maybe watching live, and you're headed to WrestleMania, let me know, because I'm going to be there. Mr. OTM is coming to your city. Hey, Eric. Thanks for stopping by. Good morning. Good to see you in the chat. I was hoping to see somebody in the chat this morning. I'm glad Eric decided to stop by, so he gets to see the news before everybody else. 1, Mr. OTM's headed to WrestleMania 42. It is official. And 2, Kayfabe Coffee is going to be less frequent going forward. Probably no Kayfabe Coffee next week, and probably no Kayfabe Coffee the week of WrestleMania. I might do one on the Tuesday, the week of WrestleMania, but I just have a lot going on with running everything at the network, making sure everybody's getting their content shared, and then doing my own stuff while traveling across the country. It's a lot. So this week, we're doing 3 Kayfabe Coffees. This morning, tomorrow morning with Pluggo, and then on Thursday morning with JPJ. But for a while, there will be no Kayfabe Coffee just because my schedule is going to get very busy coming soon. I'm going to assume that Lyra, either friend who's really high or is coming to Raw. What do you mean by that? What did I miss? I must have missed something last night on Raw. Eric catches things that I don't catch half the time. That's why I like how he watches. He's a diehard. He's paying attention to every single detail. I can't pay attention to every single detail, so I'm not even sure what he's referring to with Lyra Valkyria. I'm assuming he's talking about Lyra Valkyria. But yeah, there's your little update before we get into Monday Night Raw. Kayfabe Coffee will be live, like I said, tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. That will be with Pluggo. And then with JPJ on Thursday, recapping AEW Dynamite. That will be at this time that we are recording right this second. And then that will probably be the last Kayfabe Coffee episode for a month or so. Definitely will be back, though, for the 24-hour stream. And speaking of more main event content, guys, we got main event moves happening this weekend, Saturday. Join us for Main Event Mixer episode 45. I will be joined by Mr. Cincinnati of the Wrestling Junkies podcast. I will also be joined by Tino from Tino's Time. You guys know Tino. He's the marathon man. He said he was going to be here, but I haven't seen him in the chats quite yet, so hopefully we'll be seeing Tino. But if you want to see Tino on camera, you'll see him this Saturday for Main Event Mixer with myself, Mr. Cincinnati, and hopefully some other friends. But I say that's enough chit-chat, enough shilling. Let's get into last night's Monday Night Raw. And if you're watching this live right now, like and share with a friend. Subscribe, guys, because we're going to be doing a lot of content coming up for these next few weeks on the road to WrestleMania 42. And since this was a show at Madison Square Garden, you knew it was going to be a bigger Monday Night Raw. It's just a different feel when they go to MSG. And surprisingly, things kicked off with the guy that's actually on Friday Night SmackDown. You see me wearing my SmackDown hat even though we're talking Monday Night Raw. And that is the WWE Undisputed Champion. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, kicked off Monday Night Raw at MSG. Makes sense with it being one of the hotter crowds in America. You want to give them your biggest superstars. But man, they really threw a wrinkle into this Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton feud. And that feud honestly might be more interesting, in my opinion, than CM Punk and Roman Reigns. I'm not saying it's more exciting. I just think there's more layers that we haven't scratched quite yet with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. And this is just a different wrinkle to add to that feud and add to that build going into WrestleMania 42 to really put doubt in the mind of Cody Rhodes, because Stephanie McMahon, the reason she really came out there was just to make sure that Cody knew who he was getting into the ring with at WrestleMania, because this is not your normal Randy Orton. This is the Randy Orton that we all know as the Legend Killer, the Apex Predator. He's a different beast, and Stephanie's just looking out for Cody Rhodes because he's the son of Dusty Rhodes. They have a great relationship outside of work, so obviously that connection there made sense. And I love what Cody had to say in retaliation to what Stephanie had to say to him. He basically just said, thank you. Thank you for the wake-up call. That's all it took, was Stephanie to come out there, kick off Monday Night Raw, shake up Cody Rhodes a little bit and be like, hey man, this is a real serious contender. This is one of the GOATs. This is a Mount Rushmore character in Randy Orton. I know on paper he's treated as a heel, but we talked about this on OTM last week, and I believe Brett, my new co-host, brought it up. He goes, even though he's listed as a heel, Randy Orton is not going to get treated like a heel. People have wanted to see this Randy Orton for some time now. It's been about a decade. People are excited and embracing the fact that we are getting a different side to Randy Orton. But I think Stephanie getting in Cody's ear is only going to bring out a different side of Cody in the long run. I truly believe they are planting seeds for Cody to snap and or set up a bigger name being attached to Randy Orton. Because we know Randy Orton, we still haven't figured out who is going to be, or who is the one, I should say, that was on the phone with Randy Orton a couple weeks ago. Tatum might be a Raw call-up after Mania. She might be, because I think she loses that title to Blake Monroe. Does the draft not matter anymore? To be fair, I don't think the draft ever mattered. We haven't seen the draft in a couple years, it seems like. And Cody Rhodes is the champion. He can do whatever he wants. I don't look too into that right there. And by the way, Steph not being like her dad is a good thing. You got that right. That's for damn sure. I think that's pretty much implied. We all know that. But I'm glad Stephanie said that this was the house that her grandfather built, which is true, and didn't bring up the fact that her father also ran a few shows back in the day at MSG. But I'm curious if we're going to get to a point where we're bringing in Brandy Rhodes and it becomes open fight night, bitch.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
That's what I was waiting for after Stephanie came out. I was really waiting for Brandy to come out and do the damn thing, and who knows, maybe Brandy will do that in the next couple weeks. I'd like to see it, because that's one of my favorite moments from Brandy Rhodes in AEW, man. Just the delivery, everything about it. Let's run it back.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
I mean, that's just fantastic. That's just good stuff right there. See, he was ready for Brandy too. I think we might see Brandy. Who knows? I've been watching Shot of Love with Brandy. She brought that back on YouTube, where she has wrestlers on and they make drinks and cook food. It's pretty good. Check it out. But yeah, interesting start to Monday Night Raw. I really do enjoy the wrinkle that they added to that feud. It just gives it another layer and another thing to think about heading into WrestleMania. But after that, we got new tag team champions. It is official. New tag team champions with Austin Theory and Logan Paul, as they were able to defeat the Usos, who debuted a new theme song, which, of course, nobody likes. They heard 20 seconds of it, and everybody just decided it's bad because that's the 20 seconds we got on Netflix. So that's all that matters, and that's all the opinion needs to be made. It's just by 20 seconds. Give it a chance, guys. Like, holy shit. Just because somebody changed their theme song doesn't mean we need to crap on it right away. I'm not sitting here and saying it's a good theme song by any means, but good grief, guys. It's been a snippet on your Netflix. Like, give it a chance. Maybe it'll grow on you. Who knows? But regardless, it doesn't matter if the theme song is going to grow on you or not, because there is a new vision with the tag team division, as Austin Theory and Logan Paul are now the champions. I'm wondering what this means for WrestleMania. I'm assuming LA Knight is going to get involved in some way, shape, or form. And I did really enjoy the involvement of IShowSpeed here in this tag team championship match. Obviously, it was, it was unintentional what happened with Speed and the way that they were able to capture those tag titles. It seemed, at least by Speed, the way he was selling, that it wasn't intentional, but it does add another layer once again into the dynamic of the Vision. Maybe Speed is working with the Vision now going forward. Maybe he just backpedaled his way accidentally into a faction. Who knows? And I get it. The celebrity involvement, whether it's Jelly Roll, whether it's IShowSpeed, is not for everybody. Not everybody enjoys it, but I do understand its value that it has. And I do appreciate what Speed brought to Monday Night Raw and what he has been bringing to Monday Night Raw, because I actually think his delivery in his backstage segments is good. I think his facials were great there. The shock and awe when they won the tag team titles. It's good stuff. And I don't know if that means that Speed is going to be involved in a match. Maybe the tag titles aren't even on the line, and maybe there's just 6-man tag action, and they do the Usos and LA Knight versus IShowSpeed and the Vision. That's probably what they're going to do, because I think that the writing is on the wall too with Jimmy Uso. I think we all know that he's about to, or his wife is about to have a baby, so he's going to be taking some time off, one would assume. So maybe that's how they get to WrestleMania, is just by doing the Vision with Speed to take on the Usos and LA Knight. Just a way to get everybody on the card. And then the Usos Jey Uso can go off and do his single serious stuff that he was kind of hinting towards with Roman Reigns last week to close out Monday Night Raw. And then the Vision can go their separate ways and go off into feud with LA Knight. Probably some more, but Lord knows I don't need to see LA Knight feuding with the Vision much longer after WrestleMania. We've been seeing a lot of that as of late, man. And I really don't need to see any more of it. Let's have it conclude at WrestleMania. I like that fact that we're getting new tag champions. It's something different. Was the match great? No. We missed a lot because of commercial. It was anything goes. It was tornado tag, so I do like that. It's different. But all in all, we have new tag team champions, and we're only a couple weeks away from WrestleMania. So I do think that is the vision for the Vision, is 6-man tag action. I think the writing was on the wall after last night's Monday Night Raw. that it is going to be Austin Theory, Logan Paul, and ISO Speed versus the Usos in LA Knight at WrestleMania. Just a grudge match of sorts, if you will. These two women, though, Liv Morgan and Stephanie Valkyrie, have really been going at it as of late. I've liked the intensity that both women have brought to the promos back and forth. It kind of repetitive. You know, we kind of seeing the same thing over and over again. Like I said, though, the intensity is there. At least this doesn't feel like Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton last year. This doesn't feel like a forced feud. Like, these two women legitimately feel like they hate each other. And I think they're doing a good job at getting people excited. My only thing is, I feel like the writing is on the wall once again with this one. I think it's obvious that Liv Morgan is going to take that title at WrestleMania. I just think there's bigger fish to fry with her in the summertime, having feuds with potentially Raquel Rodriguez. I just combined Raquel with Roxanne. But I was going for those both names being challengers going forward once Liv Morgan does take that title from Stephanie Valkyrie. And that's not me saying that Stephanie can't retain. She could. I would love that. I'm a big Stephanie Valkyrie, La Primera, numero uno. You know how I am with Stephanie Valkyrie, but something tells me, man, it's going to be Liv Morgan's time at WrestleMania 42. And credit to them for making me care about the build to this match, because, you know, when somebody wins the Royal Rumble, sometimes the story is just, hey, I won the Royal Rumble and I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania. Kind of felt like what Jey Uso was doing with Gunther last year. These are two women that actually seem to dislike each other. Good enough for me. I liked that segment last night. I thought it was pretty good. Let me take a sip of water while you're here, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, share with a friend while we are live. Maybe if you're watching this later, you can still share with a friend. It doesn't matter, because we'll be right back here. I'll be back with some friends these next 2 days. We got Pluggo joining me tomorrow, JPJ on Thursday. It's going to be a good time. After that, there was a women's tag team title match that did not end because all the other women wanted to get involved. So we now know the rumors are true. Last week, I think we touched on it a little bit, that there's probably going to be a multi-women tag team title match at WrestleMania, and that's exactly what we are going to get. I will say this, though, about that segment last night, or the conclusion to that tag team title match. Not good. Whole lot of mess there. I wasn't following anything that those women were doing. They tried to really get us excited for the match at WrestleMania. I'm not too excited. Hopefully the match at Mania is a lot better than how we got to the match at WrestleMania, but I really wish this could have just been a straight-up tag team versus tag team. I don't really think we needed a multi-women's match. But then again, with the amount of time and focus that they have invested into the women's tag team division as of late, it's probably the right call. Even though I don't 100% agree with it, it probably is the right move. I don't know if it's going to be one of the better matches on the card. Probably not. But it's a good way to get people on the card. And this is deserved, in my opinion. Like I said, they've invested a lot of time. They seem to care about the women's tag team division at least. So you might as well showcase some of the best women's tag teams that you have at WrestleMania. No harm, no foul. Like I said, it's not the marquee matchup. It's not drawing me in. But it's still a matchup to look forward to for sure at WrestleMania. But with all that being said, it's not the match I am most looking forward to at WrestleMania. That's obvious, guys. I think I speak for a lot of people when I say the matchup that I am most looking forward to at WrestleMania 42, and it's been this way since the very start, the very first week that they announced it, and it's Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi. The way they have gone about building Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi has been absolutely perfect. They have done the right thing week after week. Obafemi looked strong the first 2 weeks. Brock Lesnar this week was more prepared. He was in his ring gear. He was ready to go. But Oba knew that Brock Lesnar was ready to go. So Oba just patrolled around the ring, slowly observed the scene. And of course, eventually, Oba did step on that ring apron. We got the face-to-face. The intensity's there. The crowd erupts every time Oba and Brock Lesnar go face-to-face or one of their music hits. It's electric. And once again, no title involved. in this match whatsoever between Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. It's just two monsters, two athletic freaks going one-on-one. And it might be one of the shorter matches on WrestleMania, but yet again, still the matchup I am most looking forward to seeing. Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi. And to the people that are mad about Triple H getting involved in that segment, you are just Triple H haters. Admit it. You're fickle. You're online. You're probably hiding behind a profile picture of a picture that doesn't even look like you. Maybe it's Randy Orton. Maybe it's John Cena. I don't care. It ain't you in your profile picture, but you're going to bitch about it because Triple H was on TV. What the hell's an authority figure doing on TV? Like, authority figure isn't on TV every single week with Adam Pearce, with Nick Aldis, as Tino said on my Twitter timeline. Like Vincent Kennedy McMahon, who is a focal point of storyline. It makes sense for Triple H to get involved in this segment and not the opening segment because Stephanie's a boss-ass bitch. That's his wife. She could take care of herself. He doesn't need to get involved in that. But when two of your biggest superstars, literally and figuratively, are about to square off, you don't give that away for free. You just don't. So it makes sense for the authority figure to step in and be like, hey guys, I know you two don't like each other, but we need to save this for WrestleMania. It's just smart. So if you're complaining about Triple H being on TV for this segment, you're fickle, you're an idiot, stop watching wrestling, or maybe just grow up. Educate yourself a little bit more, because that made sense for this segment. And once again, to put a bow on Brock Lesnar and Obafemi, this is the marquee matchup. This is the best match on the card. Or at least it's going to be, in my opinion. After that, Penta retains his IC title against Kofi Kingston. The match was fine. I think commercials kind of killed a little bit of the momentum, but once again, the talking point is more of the announcement we got after the retain by Penta. We now know it's going to be an IC title ladder match, which I'm very excited for. I did originally think it would have been the US title that they're going to do a ladder match for because there's a lot more contenders that are heavily featured on SmackDown. So that's my only gripe, is I think that the US title could have benefited more from a ladder match, but obviously with Sammy winning the US title, that really has thrown things into a mess, I guess you could say, over there on SmackDown with that mid-card title. But this mid-card title on Monday Night Raw, the IC title, will be defended in a ladder match. The names, though, Rusev, why? Once again, he hasn't really been on TV much. He hasn't really earned anything. Sure, get him on the card. I get it. Dragon Lee makes sense. Dragon Lee should most definitely be in that Intercontinental ladder match. He's got ties with AAA as well, and Penta has ties to AAA. So if you don't watch AAA, do it, because that makes sense right there because of that reasoning only. And then after that, I'm kind of blanking. Oh, yeah, JD McDonough, I believe, is going to be a part. That's awesome because JD's going to be a great body to fly around in a ladder match style. So the match itself is going to be fun and exciting. I just don't know why Rusev is in the match. So be it. They're going to find ways to get some other people obviously involved in this matchup. Maybe El Grande Americano gets his way into here. I think that would be money. And hell, that might even be my Intercontinental title pick. I think they might put the IC title on El Grande Americano just because he is so over right now in every company that he touches, whether it's NXT, AAA, the main roster. Hell, even Ryo and Bravo are getting over now. Give it time, people. It is working. And something else that could work, but is very random, Paul Heyman was going to address the Seth Rollins situation. Once again, we found out Seth Rollins is cleared, but we do know what direction Seth Rollins is going in. He's pivoting on back to Gunther. If you guys didn't know, I believe they had a world title match last year, and Rollins and Gunther are going to go back at it once again. It might have been 2 years ago. I could be wrong on that last year's shout, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But I know recently that these two have gone at it, and a lot of people are asking, what is Gunther going to do at WrestleMania? Because he's kind of been retiring people as of late with John Cena, with AJ Styles. So a lot of people thought Gunther maybe would retire Rey Mysterio. But I think Rey Mysterio is injured, and he's working commentary right now for AAA. So he's off the table. Seth Rollins, obviously, originally, I think, was going to be facing off against Braun Breaker at WrestleMania 42. And that doesn't seem to be happening. Which, by the way, once again, a lot of people like to report stuff. I don't do the reporting. I'm a content creator. I talk about what I see on my television screen. I don't have those connections. I saw a lot of people putting it out there that Braun Breaker was going to return last night. He didn't return. It was Gunther. Don't believe everything that you read. Don't believe everything that you see online. It's just, unfortunately, not all of it is true. That's why I like waiting and seeing like a normal wrestling fan. Just watch the product and maybe you'll find out. Because a lot of people, once again, were speculating that Braun Breaker was going to be returning last night. So a lot of people probably assumed that Braun Breaker was going to be facing Rollins again. And now this matchup is getting put on the marquee now. We got the graphic for it already. So those people are probably disappointed. I'm not disappointed because I know these are two world-class athletes. Rollins versus Gunther are going to put on a great match. The only issue I have with this match is it really doesn't have any stakes. Why would this match happen? Is Gunther working with Paul Heyman? Is Gunther doing a favor for Paul Heyman, keeping him, clean before WrestleMania so Paul Heyman is not banged up going into WrestleMania? Because obviously Rollins has attacked Heyman, and he probably will do it again. Maybe Gunther is going after Rollins because he's doing the bidding for Paul Heyman. And maybe they made a deal. Maybe there's some kind of handshake deal. Maybe Paul Heyman straight up told Gunther, you handle my Seth Rollins problem, I'll give you another legend to kill at SummerSlam. I'll give you Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. How about that? I think that could be the case here. I know that might be a stretch, but the dots are connecting on my end. Maybe this is what this is leading to. This is the start of Gunther versus Brock Lesnar with Rollins and Gunther here at WrestleMania 42. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. And if it happens, I told you so. On Kayfabe Coffee, episode 20. After that, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I completely missed this match. I forgot what I was doing, but I did find out that Raquel Rodriguez defeated Io Sky. It's unfortunate that neither woman is on the card right now for WrestleMania 42. Because, man, both women have been absolutely killing it. Raquel especially. Io always kills it. I could, my thoughts on Io Sky. I've spoken her praises at length on multiple of my shows here on the network. She's always fantastic. But Raquel Rodriguez, man, I think she needs to be on that card somewhere. And maybe I'm blanking. Maybe she is a part of that tag team match. Because, like I said, I missed this match completely on Monday Night Raw. I was doing some other things, but I would like a bigger spot for them on the main card, but it doesn't seem like that is going to be happening, unfortunately, for Raquel and Io Sky. Unless I'm missing something once again, guys, because like I said, I watch a lot of wrestling. I talk a lot of wrestling, and sometimes I forget some things. And sometimes if the chat doesn't correct me, I'm going to be wrong from time to time. And then we got the people that come in later, and they're like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. You were wrong about this. I was like, well, it would have been great if I had some friends hanging out with me live. But totally get it, because once again, guys, we do this show in the middle of the week. A lot of people are working. I'm just sitting here talking wrestling with you guys. But the final segment obviously was going to be CM Punk and Roman Reigns, because that is the Night 2 main event for WrestleMania 42. And CM Punk finally got his lick back, finally got some physicality on Roman Reigns. And I like how there wasn't a lot of chatter this week. We've had enough talk. There has been plenty of talk the last few weeks between CM Punk and Roman Reigns. And I think now it's just time to fight. Let's just get to it. Powerbomb Roman Reigns through the table. You had to look strong. And I love when CM Punk starts talking shit to the fans. Once again, I'm a Roman Reigns fan. I acknowledge Roman Reigns, but like the diehard Roman Reigns fans that just hate on everybody that Roman is facing are weirdos, man, because this dude was jawing at CM Punk last night, and Punk was just giving it right back to him. Oh, man, that brings me back to a time when Punk was calling people the P word, and he did not care what he had to say. This is the CM Punk I wanted to see. He took it to Roman Reigns, and I hope CM Punk takes it to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I truly believe that it is best for business. Still, I keep saying it every single week because my opinion can change, but the way that they've been building it, I personally want CM Punk to still beat Roman Reigns. I don't know about you guys, but my money is still on CM Punk. And it wasn't a crazy finish to Monday Night Raw. The crowd wasn't super hot about it because I think, all in all, New York is a Roman Reigns town. As weird as that sound, I think a lot of people acknowledge the OTC around there. So a lot of people didn't really want to cheer it, but nobody really wanted to boot it to end Monday Night Raw. But all in all, Raw didn't really have much wrestling to my knowledge. And that's going to happen on the road to WrestleMania. A lot of build to WrestleMania. We got a couple matches announced, so it's good to know where we are headed in a few weeks. And I can't wait to see you guys in a few weeks in Las Vegas. If you missed that news earlier on, I announced that I am headed to WrestleMania 42. It is happening, ladies and gentlemen. I will be flying in Thursday, April 16th. I fly out Monday, April 20th. So if you are headed to WrestleMania, let me know. I will be staying at the Excalibur downtown, right off the strip. It's going to be a blast. I have 2 weeks of a lot going on at the West Coast these next few weeks. So that is why Kayfabe Coffee is going to be taking a hiatus after this week. No episodes for the following 2 weeks after that, but be on the lookout for a new Kayfabe Coffee. Tomorrow morning, I will be joined at 10 a.m. Eastern with Pluggo. We're going to be talking about his experience at the Squared Circle Expo that happened in Indianapolis this past weekend. I know he got to do a lot of cool things with like CVV, Denise Salcedo, so I'm interested to see how that experience was, and we'll touch a little bit on NXT, I'm sure. But speaking of NXT, punch in for NXT Night Shift live tonight at 10:10 Eastern. We'll be recapping the final NXT before Stand and Deliver happening this Saturday. And speaking of this Saturday, we will be live for Main Event Mixer episode 45 previewing Stand and Deliver. It will be myself, Mr. Cincinnati from the Wrestling Junkies podcast, Tino from Tino's Time, and maybe one other friend. It was supposed to be Pluggo, but plans have changed because this Sunday is Easter. So Pluggo has to work on Saturday, so he cannot make it for our mixer on Saturday. But speaking of Easter, obviously nothing going down on the network here on Easter. So you guys have a good rest of your day. I will be back tomorrow morning for episode 21 of Kayfabe Coffee with my good friend Pluggo. I'll see you guys there. Take care.